at that. Nice mullet.
It's not like we're party animals and go out till 3 every night. We're here to play cricket and win a test series.
And you're a keen fisherman? Because before the Ashes you went on a fishing trip, didn't you? And you caught a couple of whoppers.
It's really hard to find. It's underneath the subway.
You got that bit? Probably breakfast on me jump there. So, Wednesday, 2 days after the end of the game, beautiful, rainy Brisbane has returned. Let's have a quick look through the papers. The whole Bancroft Bairstow thing keeps raising its ugly head. It's all actually quite funny in the press conference, everyone having a quick laugh. Funniest thing of the lot, though, is David Warner, without a single sense of irony, saying, "You shouldn't headbutt our mates. You shouldn't punch our mates, Dave. Remember?" But Bayliss vows stern words for England. Bairstow's not going to get it done. He is a bit strange sometimes, Johnny. I've been on the receiving end of his friendly Yorkshire hello. Done that. And on the back, the Aussies claim they won the sledging wars because Johnny Bairstow was caught third man, because they got into his head, mate. No, he didn't. It says in here, the best in history. One of the best sledges in history. I think you need to go and have a look at Mervyn Hughes, watch a few of his tapes, and then that's proper sledging. And more importantly, Prince Harry's getting married. Stoking up the fires. Is Ben Stokes coming to Australia? He's not. He's flying to New Zealand. He was photographed walking through Heathrow Airport with all his England cricket bags, incognito. And that takes us back to one of Trevor Bayliss' quotes earlier. We just do dumb things at strange times. Moving on to Adelaide. We're hoping the sun will come out because this is rancid. It can only get better for England. Please stay in, lads. Please stay in.
Right, we left the rain of Brisbane yesterday. We've arrived in Adelaide and it's scorching, 30-odd degrees. I'm off to the ground to meet Jason Gillespie. Played here at the Adelaide Oval for many years for South Australia. One of the great men of the game. His hair hasn't changed. Look. Just look at the Barnet. Look at the slick Rick. All right, Jason.
Hello, mate.
Nice
How are
to
you?
see you.
Lovely to see you.
I like your style.
Yeah.
I like the text message. Where should we meet you? At the statue.
Easy enough, isn't it?
Look at that. They've done you a favour here, mate. Look at that. Nice mullet. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
Can't do that anymore, mate.
I like this this script here. Becoming South Australia's most successful Test bowler. Gillespie is perhaps more famous and the most famous for the high score of 201 now in his last Test match. There you go.
Just got a bit lucky, didn't I, Virg?
I have to say, they've done a decent job on you both, particularly Darren Lehmann. I don't think I've ever seen him look that trim.
Wow.
Look at him. Now, Dizzy, tell me, that is a Lehmann stroke, isn't it?
Buff managed to get me out and I never lived it down. And he pretty much retired after that. So he said, Dizzy, I've always got one on you.
What with this filthy little slider?
Oh, they were dirty. He called it the buffra. So, yeah.
Well, I think it's quite ironic, Diz, that, well, you're just a little bit nearer, but Darren in particular, the statues are right next to the bar. That can't be a coincidence.
No, definitely not a coincidence, I wouldn't have thought.
Looks to me like there's set up, but I think there'll be a few shots played out there this week.
Yeah, and none will count on the scoreboard.
No, different kind of shot. Look at that, the champagne bar.
It's quite appropriate here in Adelaide, mate. I see you went out on social media to say how much you love Adelaide. That went down well.
Fantastic. I'll do anything to try and get a free beer. This is the Avenue of Honour.
Yeah. So, Vaughnie, this is a picture of the 1963-64 Sheffield Shield winning team. Some wonderful names up there. Ian Chappell, young Ian Chappell there on the...
He's still commentating, still in the Channel 9 box, isn't he?
He's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty good overseas player.
Yeah, what's his name? Yeah. Sir Garfield Sobers, yeah, he had a number of years here, South Australia. It was a wonderful recruit for us. And
no disrespect, Diz, but yourself and Buffer.
Yeah.
Even Sir Gary.
Yeah.
Surpassed by Sir Don.
Well, he wasn't a bad player, was he?
Oh.
Started his career for New South Wales, moved here very early in his first-class career, so played the vast majority of his career for South Australia. Lived in the inner eastern suburbs near Pembroke School, and played for the Kensington Cricket Club here in Adelaide.
Talk us through David Hooks?
Oh, David is just a revered figure here in South Australia. Wonderful leader, like obviously fantastic batsman, wonderful leader. A huge influence on that era of cricketers, including current Australian coach Darren Lehmann. Taught him a lot about playing the game in the right way, taking the positive option, I suppose. When Hooksy played, if he was not out at lunch or tea, Hooksy would often leave his bat and cap and gloves out in the middle. His funeral was here at Adelaide Oval, and that was a symbol. They put that on they set the wickets up in the middle of the ground. It was a wonderful touch. Wonderful touch for a wonderful man.
Well, this has changed, is he?
It's changed a little bit, hasn't it? Yep.
So we've got the Sir Edwin Smith stand.
Yep.
Sir Don stand. The Chapel stand.
They thought long and hard when they called it the Riverbank stand.
Right, Diz, let's have a seat in this magnificent stand. What did you make of Joe Root, the now England captain, when you were back at Yorkshire?
But a real feature for him, he'd always go to the coaches and say, look, please, if you see anything that you think could help me, please tell me. Tell me what I need to hear, not what you think I want to hear. And, brutally honest in his assessment of how he's going, his game, and just that real hunger and desire to get better.
And when you met Johnny Bairstow for the first time, how did he greet you?
Well, I must admit, the first time I actually met Johnny, he was on the academy back here when I was a player, and he walked up. He was very self-assured, and he said, "Oh, good morning, Mr. Gillespie. It's Jonathan Bairstow." Yeah, I mean, contrary to what recent events, I actually got the handshake.
He's matured since then.
He's opening his repertoire now, isn't he? So.
Now, Dizzy, I've got to just take you back just a week ago in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Adam Gilchrist just let something out of the bag about 2005. You won the first test at Lord's.
Yeah.
Now, he led it on to me and Kevin on the panel at lunchtime that you guys snuck into our dressing room to sing your celebratory song, JL, Justin Langer.
We might have, yes.
No, there's no might have. No. It's a definite you did.
We did. And look, I remember at the time, I think there was a bit of a sense of, should we be doing this? And I'm not a religious man or anything, but karma can come back to bite you in the butt, can't it, Vaughnie?
I bet you sang it loud and proud there, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
A lot has gone on, and will do. I think that's just the nature of a big series like this, under a lot of scrutiny, and our job is to deal with that.
Jimmy, some people think that Australia have kind of played the off-field situations beautifully, and that with a curfew being put on the team, as a 35-year-old father of two, how have you accepted that?
To be honest, like the curfew, I mean, it's not like we're party animals and go out till 3 every night. We're here to play cricket and win a test series, and that's what we're focused on. We want to enjoy Australia. It's a great country. We're here for a long time. We want to experience what Australia has to offer, and we can do that without being stupid.
We're here at the indoor centre at the Adelaide Oval, just about to meet Australia's chief protagonist of spin bowling, Nathan Lyon. Lyon's actually a cult hero out here, not for good reasons. He was actually on the verge of being dropped last year because his performances weren't great, until he got this cult hero status with the fans calling him Gary. Ever since then, however, he really has turned the screws. 50-odd wickets in a calendar year with 2 test matches still to go. No spinners get 50 in a calendar year. It's almost impossible to do. I can't think of anyone else who's done it. Do you think England needs to win this game to keep this series alive? Obviously, you don't want them to, but deep down, you'd want a competitive Ashes moving forward.
Competitive Ashes for me is 5-0, if you ask me, Australian way. But England doesn't need to win this series. There's 5 games, but if we go 2-0 up, it's going to be hard to stop us.
And are you a keen fisherman? Because before the Ashes, you went on a fishing trip, didn't you? And you caught a couple of whoppers.
Well, I didn't even need the bait, the hook. They just jumped in the boat. But it is what it is. A bit of bounce never hurt anyone.
No, it didn't. Well, that's English media for you. Don't pick on past players. They're very, very precious. Trust me, I'm one of them.
No, it didn't even have to go at you.
Michael Vaughan tells me, I've never known this because I've always been playing here, but apparently there's 15,000 people outside the ground here. It's a real social event, isn't it, here in Adelaide?
Yeah, I plan on coming back down here after my career's done. But when all the members come out the back, and you know when they're coming out there because there's a milestone if someone's close to 100 or a hat trick.
Everyone nips back in the ground.
Everyone comes back, fills back up, and then everyone goes again. But I think our coaching staff usually go out the back there at the end of the day's play and might have a quiet beer or wine, but it's an amazing atmosphere.
I don't want to do this, but I'm being forced by my director. I'm going to bowl one ball. This is going to hurt more than anything. If I hit the stumps, England win this week. If I don't, England win this week. England win this week.